Jim Bishop, did you say Republican Vidalia Onions?
Republican Vidalia Onions. Who would have thought there's gold in them thar onions?
Jim, it's beautiful.
Carolyn Gardner, you're too young to remember Carolyn Gardner, but about 38 years ago, Carolyn Gardner, her wisdom, selling Vidalia onions for the Republican Party. At that time, she did it for the Republican Women's Club.
Okay.
And they sold a lot of onions. I think maybe the first year, about 1,000 pounds. And boy, it's grown from that, hasn't it grown?
It has been incredible, Jim. We have, as of last year, we are selling right at approximately 10,000 pounds of onions. So from 1,000 pounds 38 years ago to right at 10,000 pounds right now, that's incredible. Huge jump.
That's a big profit opportunity for the Republican Party to get that money. So there is gold in them thar onions.
There are, and it's not only just about the profit financially, it's also about the growth of the party, and that's what we have seen over the years. So many people love the Republican Vidalia Onion fundraiser because it is something they get in return. It's not just a simple gift of money. They actually get a product for that monetary donation. And you know what I love the most, Jim?
What's that?
These folks that buy their onions, they love to take them and give them out. Bud Byers buys 5 25-pound boxes every year. And you know where he takes them? To the veterans' offices, to all sorts of different government facilities for folks that may not be able to afford onions and other produce. And it's a huge outreach for people like him to do that and to bless people within our community. And he's one of many, many people
Bud's
that
an
do that.
exceptional character. He's a fine, young man. I call him young, but I love Bud Byers. But that's a great idea, too.
Yep.
Establishment. Folks in the party buy and give to people, because that's part of what we do. We're not just in politics. We do things to help people, and that's one way to do it. People that can't afford the onions. People that can't afford them love the onions. The Vidalia onions have been such a great mark for a lot of people over the years. And I think every year since Carolyn Gardner started them, I bought onions, and we've had them. Vidalia onions to our household is like banana pudding. When they're in season, we got to have them.
You got to have it. Well, I love it. And another great opportunity that we've been doing over the last few years, and other folks may want to jump in on this, we have different business sponsors or just individuals within the Republican Party that will oftentimes buy $100, $200. We actually have one individual that in the past has bought $500 worth of onions. And then he gives those back to the party and tasks the party with delivering all of those onions back to community members, business owners, faith leaders, activists for the conservative cause, the elderly, all sorts of different folks. So we formulate a letter. We work with that sponsor, formulate a letter, take those out. We'll have folks that drive to these places of businesses and homes and so forth, and we give them. And one of my favorite testimonies through this was a couple years ago. We had someone that donated some onions. He wanted to take it to different business owners. We hand delivered it to this particular business owner in Rutherford County, and that person, that gentleman, almost teared up, Jim. It was so incredible, and the reason that it was so emotional for him was for his entire life, for all of his time in industry and in business, he had always given to the little leagues, the pee-wee tournaments, the races, different things within the community. But he said, no one's ever given anything back to me. And not that he required something back, but it was a really big testimony, the fact that the Republican Party of Rutherford County, which we support commerce and economics, gave that business leader something. And that right there, for me, was proof that what we're doing is the right thing to do to give back to our community.
That's one of the main things I like about the project and the fundraiser that the Republican Party does, is just that, reaching out and touching people in a way that we would not normally do. Yeah. And if it touches the heart like that, it is worth doing. And not only is it an enjoyable thing to have at a meal, I was reading somewhere, I don't know if it's by Daniels, but Martha Stewart said her late night snack was an onion sandwich. And I've done that myself. So, and I wait for the Vidalia onions to come out. And it's a great project. And back years ago when it first started, there were a few of us, few in the party, and a few people were working. But we sold a lot of onions. We met. Some of our first meetings was at the old drugstore in Rutherford, which is no longer there now. Okay. They're on the corner. But we have some of our meetings there in the back of the coffee shop here. But it began to grow and grow. And now, under your leadership and some of the folks that actively got involved in the Vidalia onion sale, now in this party. It's amazing what's done. It's amazing the number of people that start calling early. When are the Vidalia Onions coming?
They had been calling for about 2 months. Well, it's really incredible too, because as party chair and have been party chair for the last 4 years, I get folks from all across the state that will either call in and ask about this fundraiser, or at different conventions and meetings that I go to in other portions of the state will say, Mr. Chairman, we have heard about this Vidalia Republican Onion fundraiser that you do. What is this? I had one gentleman new to the county, or relatively new to the county, and new to the Republican Party, being an activist, and he was out there on the sidewalk a few weeks ago, and he stopped me and he said, what is this? I have to ask, what is this fundraiser that you have? And it brought so much joy to me and other folks that were in the headquarters there on Main Street, Forest City. They came out and we all got to share with this gentleman and his wife what we do and why we do it. And we have a great opportunity, because we send someone down. These onions come out of Georgia, Vidalia or Vidosa, Georgia. There's a few different counties in Georgia. And just for the record, state statute in Georgia will only allow certain counties to actually have what is deemed or called Vidalia onion. So if your onion is not grown within that region of the state of Georgia, it is not a true Vidalia onion. So it's really neat that it's actually in their state law.
So if it comes from Atlanta, then it's not a Vidalia.
It's not. So, and what makes these onions special is because obviously they're more sweet. They're not a hot onion. They're sweet onions. That's why people love to eat them like candy, and they eat them like apples oftentimes. Personally, my Aunt Ruth and I, we love a good Vidalia onion, cornbread and milk. Yeah. That's what we like. We're good old Southern folks. But for these onions, so we have some folks, they go down to the farm there in Georgia. They load up all of these, in this case, 10,000 pounds of onions, and they bring these back to Rutherford County. We have a whole team that come in, and that's what I love about our Republican Party. We get a whole team of volunteers. They come in, we offload the trailer, 10,000 pounds. It takes a while, Jim, but it's fun. We have a great time doing it. We host those onions for a couple of days, and then we have an ice cream social and onion day pickup. So we open up on a Thursday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and we let folks come in. We have food in the morning for breakfast, lunch, and supper. So we have folks that come in all throughout the day. You know how many people that we averaged coming in for the last 4 years doing this?
No.
200 people will come in to our facility to pick up their onions. And they end up having a great meal with us all throughout the day. And do you know what some folks do? They come in for breakfast. Sometimes they'll come in for a snack at lunch, and then they come back for supper so they can join us for our monthly meeting that night at 6 p.m., which is what we're going to do again this week. So our onions will be coming in somewhere around the first or second week of May, depending on the farmer and the weather and things of that nature. And we'll have a huge onion day pickup. The ice cream, it's homemade ice cream. We like homemade ice cream. Peach, strawberry, vanilla, chocolate. What do you like, Jim?
I like butter pecan.
Okay.
Butter pecan. I love cherry ice cream. If it's ice cream, I like it. So I'm not
and you're going to bring that, right?
What, ice cream?
Yeah.
I can do.
Great. Homemade. That's
I don't know about that part.
We'll get there.
But a lot of elements about this whole project is that camaraderie and that friendship, and it's the gala affair. Everybody comes together. And I've been looking at the calendar now and finding out how many more weeks it is before that happens, because I know it's getting close.
We're getting close.
In fact, someone asked me the other day, when are the onions coming in? It's not quite yet ready, but we'll let you know for sure.
We'll have a big shindig for them.
Already.
They're ready.
It's a great fundraiser. It's a great way to tie our community together as a Republican Party, as well as folks who are not Republicans, buy our onions as well, because it's such a great onion. I haven't had any complaint as far as I know.
No, everybody loves it, and it's a great price. It's a 10-pound bag for $10 and a 25-pound box for $20. So you're economically better for the 20-pound box because, 25-pound box for $20. So that you actually get an extra 5 pounds free, which is a fabulous gift to a neighbor, to a friend, a coworker. They love to get that Republican Vidalia onion.
One thing about them too, I've noticed that people can, of course, protect them. These onions last a while. It's not something that's going to be on the kitchen cabinet for 30 days. People still eating Vidalia onions even now.
Well, let's just look at this right here. I mean, Jim, do you know how old this onion is? Properly taken care of.
It's about,
Right at 12 months.
Yes.
And this is a firm onion. You can knock it on. It's very firm. It's still as sweet as it was the day it was plucked out of the beautiful earth that God planted it in. It's really incredible. So these onions, properly taken care of, will last you an entire year. And folks, actually, I've been talking to quite a few folks here recently, and they have just peeled or cooked or ate or the very last onion within the last week or two. So these folks are ready right now for another box of onions.
Yeah. My onions don't last that long, of course.
Mine don't either. I like to eat mine.
I do too. And I share it with the family and other folks. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope other folks will join this style. It's never been a part of this. And one time, buy a bag of onions or a box of onions, or come out and help us distribute onions.
Absolutely.
Sell some onions.
And they're jumbo. They're big. They're not little onions. They're big jumbo onions.
Absolutely. Not little tiny things.
Yeah.
There's gold in them, though, right?
There's gold there. I love it, Jim. Well, I'm very excited, and I think we have a great fundraiser, a great tradition and a story that needed to be shared and told. And it's really incredible what Carolyn had and the vision that she had. And it's an honor for me and you and others within the Republican Party to carry on that vision that she started approximately 38 years ago. And we've seen it grow and prosper financially and with activism. So, and thank you, because you have played a tremendous key part in that.
Glad to be a part of the Republican Party. If somebody is interested and never been part of this and want to know more about it, how might they get in touch with somebody?
Well, there's quite a few ways. They can call me at 828-429-9488. They can reach me directly, and I'm happy to accommodate with them. We have a website for the Rutherford County Republican Party. We have a Facebook for the Republican Party of Rutherford County. And then we're at 171 East Main Street, Forest City. So we have multiple ways they can reach us, but they could easily walk into the headquarters and place a order there, or we actually will have some as extra to sell the day of, because we always have people that come in the day of to buy them. And we also have a lot of folks that will buy 4 or 5 boxes and then come say, actually, I want another 4 or 5 to go with that. And so we end up selling them another 4 or 5 boxes.
I sell some and give some away down to South Carolina even,
Yeah.
so it's not just Rutherford County participating in this. Of course, in South Carolina.
You take them across the state line.
I love our onions.
Yeah, they like them.
And I want to know who ate that half of this onion.
Well, I tell you what. It's a fabulous lady. Her name's Kathy McCurry out of Sunshine. Kathy's a wonderful lady and a fabulous cook. And so that was the very last onion she had, and was peeling it and cutting it off whenever I asked her for this. So she's made use of every single onion that she has. And she'll probably let you have this half of the onion if you want it, Jim.
I'd love to have it. It'd be great.
Well, great. I'm going to let you take it home with you.
All right.
I hope you enjoy it
Maybe
tonight.
be tickled to have that onion too.
I think she would. Thank you, Jim Bishop.
Thank you for your work and your service. We love you.
Love you too.